It's awesome. I'm eating, like, until we have to, like, actually record, I'm just eating through my bag of Boom Chicken Pop that they brought me.
Here we are, and welcome to another episode of the Friday Night Movie Podcast, where I get together with my sisters Lily and Becky, who live in far-flung places, and we recreate the experience of chit-chatting after we used to go to the movies as teenagers. I'm joined today by my sister Lily, who is out in the Canary Islands. Lily, how are you?
Good. I have our famous parents here hanging, which is hilarious. They are basically just like a circus, like a very Jewish circus, which is pretty funny.
A very Jewish circus. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Like what's Jewish about it?
Like there's like we're in Spain, right? So Mom speaks Spanish, and there's all this like they're like so cool in like Spanish, like drink wine and like go out late at night, and then all of a sudden there's like lots of Yiddish words that get thrown around. So it's just hilarious. They're like, oh, give me a Schmeer of that Jamon Serrano. Like, you know what I mean? It's just like,
give me
just like there's this.
That should be a t-shirt.
Combo.
That should be a t-shirt.
Right.
Give me a Schmeer of
that
Jamon
Schmeer
Serrano.
Which doesn't make sense because you can't Schmeer.
It would be a shtickle.
A shtickle. So it's like just very funny. It's Mom's like, give me a shtickle of Jamon Serrano. You know, just like very, a combination of worlds.
So,
but.
Go ahead. I was just going to ask you, have you gotten further detail on which one of us is Mom's favorite?
Me, because Mom
no hesitation.
No, because
I'm not even in the running, guys.
It's fake. No, wait, it's fake. Because, okay, so I take Mom on like a special trip, right? I plan a special thing, and, you know, I tried to usurp Shai's like illegal flowers that he got her without me and Becky on Mother's Day. I was like, Mom, I'm going to take you to a beautiful island. It's for Mother's Day. But I owed her money, so I used that money to take her.
The classic, pay your parents back with their own money.
Yes, exactly. So it was like perfect win-win for me. And I take her to a beautiful island on the Canary Islands, and we have like the best time. And I was like, Mom, like, isn't it so fun? And then she looks at me, like, she whispers really quietly. She's like, you're my favorite. And I looked at her and I was like, but you're literally just saying, like, that's not true. Shai's your favorite. And you just said that to kind of see if you could trick me. Like, I totally don't buy it. And what do you think? I'm stupid?
How come I wasn't mentioned this?
No, but also no one was around.
It's Shai's her favorite. And then no one's around, right? So I'm like, exactly. If a tree falls and someone calls me their favorite and no one's there to hear it, doesn't count. And so I'm like, if Shai's not here, this doesn't count. And she looked at me and she goes, fine. And that's it. It wasn't like, no, you really are. She just goes, fine, never mind. I was like, I
think the rule
and then we'll talk.
It's unclear ultimately who Mom's favorite is. I know she loves us all deeply.
It's 100% not me.
Well, no, I was going to say, but the person who she cares about most, what they think of them, is Becky. Absolutely.
True.
Like, if there's one of us that is the barometer of cool that Mom wants to be, it's Becky. Like, Mom doesn't look at me and be like, oh, I really want Shai to think I'm cool. But
she wants to please Shai the most, right? Like, she wants to make you, like, the happiest, I think. Like, with the food and all that. Anyways, I just want to quickly mention, and I want to write a blog article on our website about this, that I don't know, so Mom and I, there's a combination of things that make this TV event, frequent in my life, but I don't know if it's something that other people experience. One is having a kid, and two, being in a foreign country with sketchy internet. And so, you know, the crucial time when you put your kid down for a nap and the clock starts of how much TV I can watch.
I'm in that clock right now.
Yeah.
Right.
How much podcasting can I do?
Right. Like, and then it happens like how much cooking could I do? How much laundry? How much whatever, right? But when you're dying to watch a specific episode with a specific person.
Oh, I know that feeling.
Like, everything has to be like lined up.
And by the way, for the record, Netflix is about to take Marvel Civil War off of Netflix, so I'm still waiting for that to finish from our vacation however long ago, Lily.
It's like 3 years ago. And so anyway, so we were like rushing to sit down to watch this like one episode of TV on Netflix, and like my kid's asleep, like everything's chill, and we sit down, and Netflix it was doing the weirdest thing. I would play on the episode, I would fast forward the intro, and it would go right back to the beginning. It wouldn't let me fast forward, which was so weird.
So you were in like one of Mom's anxiety dreams about being trapped on the highway.
Right. Basically, I can't get through the episode. Then I pause the episode at one point. We make it like halfway through, and it goes back to the beginning. And I can't get it forward again.
Wait, did Netflix reset?
Like, why is
I had for a while Netflix would crash my entire Apple TV and just reset the whole Apple TV.
Okay, well, that's a perfect example. Or another example is like if you brought an iPad or computer or whatever tablet to a place you wanted to plug in, like someone else's house or a hotel room to watch a specific something, and it's not working, and you're just like, come on, because you just really want to do that one thing. And to me, it's like praying to the TV gods. Like, that's how I feel. I literally was sitting there with Mom, and I was like, I am praying to the TV gods. Just let this goddamn thing work, because I really want to watch this one thing now. And I don't know.
What was your episode?
It was obviously the last episode of the second season of Outlander.
Oh God, that episode is like really intense.
I know, so I really want to see it.
No, I like cried. I told you, I had like a break.
Do they reveal that yet another character wants to sleep with Jamie? Because I feel like all of the big reveals of the show so far for me is that everyone wants a piece of Jamie.
Yeah, that comes up again in season 3. Don't worry.
No matter like gender or station in life, like everybody wants Jamie because he is the only like handsome human in that like dirty era.
It's all his
tough.
Everyone else is missing teeth.
Anyway, so yeah, the TV. I'm sure you guys.
He's got those sexy scars on his back.
You guys can relate though to the TV god thing, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. I remember the time Lily and I watched Oblivion with my younger child in the like exerciser. We just turned her around and had her watch it because we wanted to watch the movie.
Because we could watch a movie together.
And that's how desperate you are. Like the movie you're watching is Tom Cruise in Oblivion.
Right, but you just want to see something.
You just want it.
Anyway.
How
are you, Becky?
How are you, Beck? We didn't even ask
I am incredible.
No pun intended.
No pun intended. No pun intended. And I am incredible because last night I got to go to the Pixar wrap party for Incredibles.
This is a huge reveal. Like,
are you allowed to talk about this even?
I mean, I'm not going to like talk about it in detail. I mean, there were over 2,000 people there.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
It's huge. It's not like it
makes spill the beans.
Yeah, there's like 1,200 people that work there, and everyone got to go with a +1. So there's like at least 2,000 people there. It's huge. And we got to see Incredibles 2, advance of its release. I think it's coming out June 15th.
Yeah.
Very exciting.
And I'm shaking with excitement. I loved it so much.
That's
I need
so amazing.
to go watch it so we can just talk about how amazing it was.
So this is I'll admit
it's a huge act to follow.
I like the first one. It's not in like the pantheon of animated movies and Pixar and all the stuff that's come out since. At the time, it was probably the best I'd ever seen. But like, it's not one I've gone back and watched, although the kids have been watching it a lot lately. But I've always respected that Brad Bird, who is amazing, has, as far as I know, resisted making the sequel until he really felt like there was a good story to tell, or until he felt like it was the right time.
Story is when you talk about a story. This story
compared to The Last Jedi now.
Compared to The Last Jedi.
Or any Marvel movie.
Or just like, it just shows you how superhero films do not need to be complete dreck. Like all the stupid Avenger movies and Justice League garbage out there. There can actually be amazing, thoughtful, deep stories that touch on like, personal experiences, but then have, I am not kidding, some of the best action. There's one action sequence in there that is one of the best action sequences I've ever seen of any movie, live action or animated. It is on another level. You are like watching it and freaking out. It is so good. And it's so funny. Like there's entire pieces of the movie I missed because I was laughing so hard. I couldn't hear the movie over my own laughter. So we're going to go see it again next weekend at another screening because I'm like, no, I need to see it again because I missed some parts because I was laughing so hard. So I really hope everyone goes to see it and just totally enjoys it and loses themselves in it the way we did. I'm not exaggerating. We saw it last night.
Had Vlad seen it before?
He had seen like early screenings, early drafts of it at work. Because that's one of the things that they do. But no, he hadn't actually seen this.
Like, so you got to like enjoy it with you.
Yeah, and he didn't work on it. So he really got to enjoy it. You know, like our core group of friends, only one of them worked on it. So it was a really big night for her. And that was really exciting. But the rest of us just got to all enjoy it with fresh eyes. So, and then I also want to point out that there's a short film playing in front of it because Pixar always has a short that accompanies it. And this short, I was floored by.
Okay.
It is.
And you're very critical.
Because the shorts are batting like 1 out of 10 for me at this point.
They're like Christmas Frozen and the volcanoes.
I am not going to tell you anything about it. I am not going to tell you anything about it other than in the fact in a few moments, like in a matter of a few minutes, you will laugh, you will cry, and you will be elevated.
Is it better than Coco?
This short film?
Oh, sorry. I got confused.
No, it's a short because they play short.
Lily nodded off.
I nodded off.
No, it's so creative and inventive. I don't want to give anything away, but it's one of the most special things I've ever seen. And we can. Awesome. I want everyone to see it, and then we can all talk about it. It's called.
Although not all the film shorts are at the beginning of the movie, so some people in their theater might not have that. Which would be I'm
pretty sure it plays in front of it in all like theatrical releases.
Because there was a short in front of Coco that when I went to see it was not there.
No, I think they took it out. They took the Christmas one out.
They took it out because everyone hated it.
It was the Frozen Christmas one that I hated.
It was the Frozen Christmas thing that everyone hated. They didn't screen it because people, I think, just revolted. But this one is awesome. Perfect. Anyways, and there's a lot of great family themes in both the short and, of course, in The Incredibles. And so after you guys see it, we can talk about it. We can dive in to it. And I'm not going to reveal anything other than I have not been able to stop talking about it and thinking about it. And I'm in the best mood because of that movie last night.
Cool. Well, I have been playing the board game Clue with my children. You
don't even wait for us to ask how you are.
How are you, Shai? What have you been up to?
I'm all right. I'm solo with the kids right now. Al's out of town, and I convinced the older one the other day that we should play the game Clue. Got a fresh new game of Clue. By the way, very cheap to buy Clue. You want to buy one of these new fancy games?
Your kids get to play Clue, but when we hang out, we have to play like Settlers of Zatar and Gems of
those games. By the way,
whatever.
Huge price difference. Clue is like $8 or something like that, whereas Splendor is like $40. Anyway,
I know.
So and Clue, which I clearly
you pay for more boredom.
Yeah, like all the.
The more you pay, the more bored you are. That doesn't sound like a good deal.
All the games from our youth, I realized how much I don't think any of us knew the actual rules. So but in order to play the games now, because of the way like your brain works as an adult, because you don't remember well enough the way the game was, you got to read the instructions. So you get the kids, first of all, super frustrated with you. Why can't we start? And I'm like, hold on, I got to figure out where Professor Plum's got to go. Anyways, so we played Clue. And my older child insisted she understood it, and I was really impressed. She sorted the cards. She put the cards in the envelope. We get through this whole game. But as we're getting through the whole game, it appears, you know how you have that notepad where you check to see which characters you have? Which characters have maybe done it or not? You, like, eliminate suspects. At a certain point, we all eliminated all of the people. And so...
What?
So finally, she throws out this
somebody has to be left.
Yeah, so finally, she throws out a guess, because one thing that is true, and someone else wrote this, I did not come up with this joke, I saw it recently either on the internet or an article, but like playing board games with your children is truly like all you want to do is let them win so it can be over. It's not about teaching them a lesson at a certain point. You're just like, please let this end. And so it's not about like making them feel good. Believe me, if I could beat them fast on my own, I would teach them a lesson and end it. But the young child, my older child, she makes the guess of, I don't know, Miss Peacock or Miss Colonel Mustard with the dagger in the library or something like that. And then we open up the cards, or she opens up the cards and she goes, "It's not it." And I said, "What do you mean it's not it? How could it not be that? We've already gone through all the characters." And I guess she had misorganized the cards, and as it turned out, it was just 2 weapons in a room. So we played like this 2-hour game of Clue, and the dagger did it with the candlestick.
It's hilarious.
So
although the game is about murder, how inappropriate! Like,
well,
like
so
you
the
have
game,
a very strange
the game is
choice of media for your children.
the game is 8+. The game is 8+. And
yeah, you're
my
playing
child
with a
is
4-year-old.
turning 7.
With 8-year-olds.
No, my child is turning 7 in July, but
the other one is turning 5 and not yet.
I will say, well, she was the classic, the move that Dad always used to do with Becky. She was on my team, so.
Aww, that's so cute.
Her job was mostly just guessing random things, and she did a good job. I was very proud of her. And she rolled the dice in such a way that every time she threw it, and all the pieces went flying. And so we finished the game, and Allie walks in, and Allie loves Clue. She's thrilled. She's so excited. And Allie and I are on this drive later in the day, and we're talking about Clue, and the subject of Clue the movie comes up. Now, are you guys familiar with Clue the movie?
Yes.
Okay. And so I'm start talking about how, yeah, you know, I always liked the movie. I mean, it's a cool movie. I'm not hardcore on the movie. It's just because, you know, the game came first, I always had in the back of my mind what I pictured from the game, and the movie never 100% meshed with that. And then there's the Tim Curry character that isn't in the game. And Allie stops and she goes, "Wait a minute. The game is based on the movie."
I was about to tell you that. I was like, I don't want to bust your bubble. When you said that, it was the opposite. I was like, I'm pretty sure it's the other way around.
No, the movie is based on the game.
The movie's
the game is based on the movie.
No, the movie is based on the game 100%. The movie is 100% based on the game.
Lily, you can sit in the corner.
I thought it was the other way around.
Lily, you can sit in the corner with the wedding best friends date and the holiday and Allie and Clue.
But you just said that it was the game based on the movie.
Well, no, I was leading up to this funny story where, can you believe Allie thinks the board game was based on the movie?
Oh, that's like me. That's hilarious.
And so
I think the game is based on a book, as I'm reading on the internet.
Well, either way, it's so I was going to ask you guys, isn't that funny?
No.
But anyway,
yeah, I just put myself in the same category.
It's a board game. All this stuff has been written about the board game. It's just a board game.
We were talking about this on a drive out to visit Allie's parents because it was Allie's mom's birthday. We were having a party, and the subject came up then and segued into the fact that Allie's parents. Allie then turns to me and says, "Didn't your parents have murder mystery parties growing up?"
Yeah.
And I said, "No." She goes, "Oh yeah, my parents definitely had." She was
Those are called swingers parties.
No.
Her parents, she doesn't know.
They had murder mystery like theme nights where like they dressed up as like flappers and like.
Is that why Allie liked the movie Game Night? Because the throwback to her childhood. Because that movie is terrible.
So that then segues into.
Watchable.
That then segues into, I would say, like our movie of the week, which is Game Night. So Allie and I are having this like revelation.
I'm sorry. So they got together, they dressed up as flappers, as you say, and then somebody had to pretend to get murdered, and they would do like a whole role play.
Yeah.
Like a live Clue.
And enough times that Allie said, "Didn't your parents do these too?" So not like one, but many.
At her, where the
it's like
children.
A regular thing.
I don't know. I didn't get into much detail.
That is amazing. She better have archival footage. I want archival footage.
I hope so. Well, and then while all this is going on, we also watched the movie Game Night, starring Jason Bateman.
Which I skipped. It was my idea to watch it, and then I never did, and I'm glad I didn't.
So bad.
I already forgot it. Allie loved it. She thought it was really funny. let me just go through
Once
some.
again.
Well, let's just go through. Let me just go through some of my observations. Number one, you could call this game night, or you could call it the epilogue of Friday Night Lights, because Kyle Chandler Coach is in it, and Jesse Plemons is in it.
Okay.
That's true.
And Sharon from Catastrophe looks like an Irish version of Tammy Taylor. So if you squint, this could just be like a zany
She
comedy.
does look like an Irish version of Tammy Taylor.
That's number one.
Very well.
Number two, not one, but two Queen songs feature in this movie.
Sorry, my chair.
Not one, but two Queen songs feature in this movie, Lily.
So that's what they spent all their budget on?
It starts with Don't Stop Me Now.
Yeah.
It has a Chelsea Peretti cameo. It has a sort of like the feel of all of these other movies that are like this dating back to like the 80s. Like, I feel like Chevy Chase could have easily been in this movie in the 80s. But
I just feel like it on paper it sounds great, but in execution it just wasn't. And can I tell you what didn't work for me in the movie? What my big thing that didn't work for me was why I
guess?
mostly didn't like it.
How old is Jason Bateman, and how old is Jason Bateman supposed to be?
You're warm. You're very, very warm.
Okay, go ahead.
It was Jason Bateman, and I like him. I'm a fan, but I felt he was so miscast in this. I didn't find him funny. I didn't even find him to be like a good straight man, and he's so much like awkwardly like the age gaps in the cast is very strange. Like how are all of these people friends? Like in what context did these people become friends? Because one of them is like
we don't want to be
24,
ageist.
and then
you can
Jason
have
Bateman
friends that
like,
are. You can want to be ageist. You can have friends
but
to be older, but they're passing them all off
But
as if
in
they were the
premise-
same age.
Yeah, that's what it is. And the premise of this is that they've been playing game night together for like 2 decades or like 10 years or 15 years, but like one of them would have been in diapers if that was the case. Like it just doesn't make sense. And I don't know, what also doesn't make sense is why any of these people would be friends with Jason Bateman. He's so annoying.
Well, so the other thing I noticed is that, do you feel like every movie you see with Jason Bateman he should be being yelled at by his boss in the movie? Like, I feel like if someone told me...
Guys, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you just fine.
Oh my god, I've been screaming at my mic for like a minute, being like, I'm gonna interrupt you. No, I'm interrupting you, Becky. I'm like, I'm not asking anymore. And then I started talking, and then I'm like, oh my god, why are you guys ignoring me? I'm interrupting both of you. I have something to say. I've been on mute for I don't even know how long.
Great story. What are you interrupting us about?
Wait, can I just finish my Jason Bateman riff? And
No, I'm saying mine. I've been trying to say mine.
All right, go ahead.
No, let Chad finish his riff.
No. He's only 9 years older than McAdams.
No,
Maybe he looks a
No,
little
that's
different.
not the issue. What about the blonde guy who's from Get Shorty Shy?
Yeah,
He's
I
from
know.
The TV
I
show
totally
Get Shorty.
noticed.
He's so good. He's so good.
That guy was good, and he was really good in the movie. But how are he and Jason Bateman like close buddies? That guy is like
no part of it
He
makes sense.
is
guy
nearly
is, like,
20 years older than
that
that
guy
guy.
is like Shelley's
exactly.
age, and Jason Bateman is like
That's what
Andy
I'm
and
saying.
Josh's age.
There's no part of this makes sense. Now, also, did you guys see Ingrid Goes West? Because he's super funny in that.
He's really
great.
good in that. He plays the
I
brother.
really want to see
Yeah.
that movie. So,
That's a
anyways,
good movie.
my
It's
point
a
is
weird
that
movie,
if
but he's a
someone
great
told me
actor.
this movie, Jason Bateman's character was the same from Horrible Bosses and the same from Couples Retreat, and this was just another adventure that he went on, I would have been lulled into it because it just was insane. Anyways, Lily, what's your point? And then we'll move on.
My point is, don't we feel like Rachel McAdams should be in a different movie? Not this, guys.
I thought she was cute, but she's good in everything.
Yeah, everyone in the movie's good. There's no question about like the goodness
But like,
of
I
all of
just
the
feel
people
like
in it.
Rachel.
I know what you're saying. You're like, is this the best her agent can do at this moment for her? Like, why isn't she in a better movie?
Why isn't she in a better movie?
But
like,
won't
give
we-
me a break.
But one would think that this movie is probably like fun for them to make, not super crazy long.
She gets to
They
do a
get paid a
comedy, which she
ton.
doesn't often get to do.
I will say that now she's going to be in a new movie. I don't know if you guys have heard of her new movie, Disobedience, with Rachel Weisz.
Great voice.
That looks intense, where she plays an Orthodox woman, like an Orthodox Jewish woman.
Really?
And yeah,
Oh, yeah,
I'm
it's
like,
about, like,
what
like a
Jewish Orthodox
lesbian
woman
love
looks like
affair.
that? I don't know.
Well, it's about like a lesbian love affair in the Orthodox community. It's scandalous.
Like she's married to an Orthodox man, and his sister was like excommunicated from the community, but comes back for like a family death, and it's revealed. I mean, this is like part of the plot. I'm not ruining anything. That there was some intimacy between the two women that then comes back to wreak havoc.
Interesting.
So, yeah,
wow.
I'm just saying that is a meaty role for Rachel McAdams. So just like to go from the one about the newspaper spotlight to game night to this movie.
No,
I feel
like everyone gets to be in like a game night or rough night or whatever blank horrible bosses night, Christmas party night, any movie with blank night where a madcap adventure happens, everyone gets to do one. Okay, so all right. Where shall we go next? Should we do a Tradesies update? Should we talk about Cobra Kai? What do you want to do?
We can do a Tradesies update, but it has to be like fast, like 30 seconds each.
Okay, Tradesies update.
I don't want.
I'll start. Well, I already said my point. Outlander. Main reveal lately is everybody wants to sleep with Jamie.
I want to know how far into it you
how
are.
far are you?
Well, spoiler alert. I'm at the one where spoiler alert for anyone who was watching Outlander. We're at the one where this is, by the way, a cable show where the seasons still have 20-something episodes. It feels like I thought cable show seasons were like 8 to 13,
12 or 13.
I'm already in the 13th,
13.
and it seems like there's many more.
Well, Becky said that the season 1 is that the one that's actually 2 seasons.
Like it's 2 parts, but it's like 6 episodes and 7 episodes. It's still only like 13.
Yeah.
But don't reveal anything because the end of season 1 is pretty intense. So
Well,
so you're at the end of season 1.
It
Don't say
revealed
what's
that
happening.
there's a character in the show who part of the conflict with Jamie was that this character tried to sleep with Jamie as well as the witch and the whoever else that has a relationship with Jamie. Which again, as the reveals happen in this show, particularly with some of the time travel rules and with these relationships revealing, I like it more and more because I don't care for the love relationship at all, but I really do care for the complexity of the story. And so as the story gets,
it has good side characters.
As the story gets complex and the history stuff gets woven in, I get more and more hooked into the show. And
you'll love the second season.
I find that there's more and more of like angles and things that makes me want to know what happens next. Where at this point, it trucking along just on the relationship is just not my thing. And part of it is that I think that I don't really, in the end, I'm not really that connected to the character, to the woman, the female lead. I just, like, she doesn't really...
To Claire.
Yeah, Claire, that's it. See, I don't even remember her name.
You like character development, so I think if you give it more, if you keep giving it a chance, her character development is pretty, like, steady. And then Becky said to me, when I remember watching season 1, Becky was like, her character is incredible. I love her. And I remember being like, well, whatever. And I didn't get what Becky meant. And then as you kind of get through season 1 and start season 2, you're like, damn, okay. I see what Becky meant. She has development.
I'm perfectly fine with continuing to watch it. I'm interested to see, like, again, as it reveals more layers to the world, like the world building, and it stops being like just like Downton Abbey with swords. I like it a lot more when it's just the like relationship madness nonsense. I'm not so interested in it. But like when the woman is taken away at one point and she starts yelling out the year 1960 something or whatever, I was like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. So anyways, I'm enjoying
the smallpox.
As I'm getting deeper into the show, I like it a lot more. So that's where I'm at. But
you should definitely bargain if you're going to watch season 2 anyways. You should totally bargain it. Like, like I'll watch season 2 if you watch whatever.
Well, no, season 2 we'll bargain for season 2 for sure. But I'm glad it took me a while to find out what I connect to about this show, but now I feel like there's what I want to find out. But it's kind of, I'm not putting it on the level of Deadwood, but it is the kind of show that it's dense, and so there isn't. And maybe you guys are able to watch episodes back to back. I'm not. Each one is long, and when it's over, I'm like, okay, I want to know what happens next time, but I need a day or two off.
I am sorry. Can I get my update? Are we done? Because I said 30 seconds and that was like 6 minutes. I'm just saying. I'm in season 2 of Chuck. It continues to be a delightful show. I like the character development quite a bit. I really like how Chuck is evolving in season 2. I feel like he's going to grow a lot more. I was feeling by the end of season 1, like, okay, your whole like working at Buy More and this, it's like a little boring. Don't you want more from life? And he's finally starting to show an ambition beyond Buy More. And so I'm really hooked into his character, and I'm still enjoying it quite a bit.
Did you see my favorite scene from season 2?
Don't.
No. It's just
only like a couple episodes.
No. It's in the first. It's in the first episode when there's like a big explosion, and this song by the band Frightened Rabbit called "Twist" is playing, and it keeps repeating this refrain about human heat. Anyways, that unfortunately the singer in that band died in the last couple of weeks, but that is probably one of my favorite music moments. In fact, that season has 2.
They do have great music in that show.
It's like really good,
really great.
They played Eels like that for me.
Yeah,
as a winner.
they have great music.
Yeah, later they play Chromeo, remember that band from Montreal?
Oh yeah.
So there are websites that actually you can go through and see the track list for each show, and there's Spotify playlists
they have,
for the show.
Whoever their music supervisor was did a great job, because it's a lot of fun to listen to.
Cool.
Cool. That's it. I'm still enjoying it. I think it gets more delightful with each episode. I've kind of passed the point where I'm like, oh, this feels like a little bit dated, and now I'm just I really just enjoy each episode. I like having it on. It's good company.
Cool. Lily,
I agree.
Are you?
I agree. I'm having an issue. So I'm watching it on your, like, I don't know if people know that you have this like crazy server with all like an insane library of media that I'm so grateful that you share with Shoutouts. Yeah. That you have, but lately I've had a hard time connecting to the server, so it like made me really sad to watch the Spinwheel when I was just trying to like get my little Chuck fix. Because I will admit, it like when you're in the right mood, it's just like that perfect thing to have on, to kind of like, you know, like candy. And so yeah, I haven't been able to get much further, but I'm not gonna go full I Told You show, but I will say so far I am enjoying it. And I, as opposed to begrudgingly watching it so that you would watch Black Mirror, I am now maybe happily watching it. But I'm very excited to announce from our previous episode that I have an ally on the Black Mirror thing, which is Lindsay. So 2 against 1.
Right. I feel like we should do Cobra Kai quickly, because I'm looking at your notes for like wrap up.
You have
a
lot of
the actual show. It's like as long as the show. So we got to do Cobra Kai quick, because it's going to take 15 minutes to wrap.
Wait, did you guys watch that show that I told you to watch for this episode, or no?
What?
No. Killing Eve? I did not get a chance to watch it. I'm so sorry.
I'm just curious.
So Cobra Kai, we started off in the midway. We spoke all the way through the first half, and now we've finished it. And so I think let's just start with reactions.
It was awesome. I binged watched the whole thing. It was amazing. I don't know what else.
I felt that the ending delivered. I think a series like this can often like really fail towards the end. Like you start off strong and then you peter out and you kind of get lost in what is the story. That often happens in series. And for me, the reason why I really stand by how much I like it is because I felt like the last episode, you're really seeing this character. You're seeing Johnny's character arc for season 1, and you know, oh, they've really thought about where they want him to go over time. And so I really enjoyed that. And then the other thing that I quite liked about it is that, you know, the first, I feel like 3/4 of the show are really about Johnny and his Cobra Kai and that, and then you're slowly getting a little bit more Daniel and what his story is, but it's more being teased out. And again, it felt like season 1 ended saying to us, actually in season 2 you're going to get a whole lot more of this, and it's going to really good. So
right.
I quite like that as well.
Yeah, it's almost like they did like
oh,
go ahead.
Yeah. No, I said I don't want to bring up The Last Jedi because I don't upset you, Shai, but I think it was very crucial that while they show that Daniel is not a perfect guy or whatever, he in no way, shape, or form will, you know, become the villain, or we won't lose our idealized version that we have in our head of his. You know what I mean?
Right.
He's
Well, no,
still
because-
a really good
learned from
guy.
Mr. Miyagi still guide
He's still,
him
right. He's
today.
still exactly, and he
And
does
that doesn't
Miyagi
mean that,
Do.
right.
Right, and he just lost his touch with, the karate or whatever, and he has always been like a bit. The best episode is the one where you see it from Johnny's perspective.
Oh
Because
yeah.
he's like, I was just whatever having a fight with my ex-girlfriend on the beach, and some kid comes over and pushes me, and I defended myself. You know what I mean? And like you see it from his perspective, you're like, yeah, dang, you were kind of a shit. Like you kind of messed with people, and while it's not okay to bully, it's interesting, but he's still Daniel, and they don't change who we love, what we love about him. So that I liked a lot. And two quick things, I think Becky's right that these kind of shows often get crappy at the end, or they're so good but they leave nothing for a season 2. They go so all in that then they don't have any material. They did a great job of being like, this is going to be awesome, and we're going to get a season 2 because Johnny and Daniel will be friends or work together. The daughter's going to go back to do martial arts. Like,
yeah, there's things that they're leaving for season 2 to happen, and
they had a lot of confidence when I saw an interview with the 2 guys that did this. They're fairly a bit older than us, but they clearly loved it as kids, and they were like, they brought it. I feel like they were very confident about the kind of show that they were going to do. So.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I would say I agree with everything you guys said. I think the show stays true to Daniel's character and doesn't make him perfect, because every person is always dealing with their sort of same demons over and over, but that you also want these characters to evolve. And especially the last half of the season, you hear or you see, oh, Daniel really spent another 20 years learning from Mr. Miyagi, and he can do certain meditations, and he focuses on different aspects of martial arts, and he is himself.
Like in this show, they have Mr. Miyagi die much later than he did in real life. I'm pretty sure. Like, the actor died earlier than they have him die in the show.
Oh, I see what you mean.
So he really continued on until quote unquote recently, whereas he died a long time ago.
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
and that was great.
So,
I love the fact that they saved his daughter's entry into martial arts for another season. Maybe next season, maybe the following season, as opposed to just being like, we're going to make this about his daughter, making it too obvious. But she's clearly going to be crucial to the plot, because she's obviously very talented and needs to.
Well, her move at the end, I was like, okay, there's no way you're doing that move and you haven't been practicing.
Well, the one thing I find, and I don't know if it's different, however you want to call it, but they definitely juice up the fighting as compared to what you would have seen in the 80s, such that the fighting that they're doing is more similar to like modern martial arts movies than you would see. Not that it's supposed to be realistic, but some of the fighting in it is like downright like wire, like it's like the wire stuff you see in kung fu movies, and you just have to suspend disbelief.
Right, and it was fun. I mean, like I said before, it was incredible watching this with my husband, who's a sensei. So it was really amazing. That was a special experience. In fact, when we're all together, we should watch just like 1 or 2 episodes with him. But when we're watching the championship part at the end, he was reminding me that the type of competing that they do, they don't have any protection. Like, they hit each other in the face. There is no protection. You know what I mean? And
does that competition still exist? Are you doing?
Yeah. And it's like a point fighting, but it's really intense because, like, in most other martial arts, there's even semi-contact gloves, like half gloves. You know what I mean? And for kids, minors, the very, like, smaller kids, like, wear some kind of protection. These are just, like, smacking each other in the face, which is quite, and it's like old school, but it's also pretty cool. To see that.
I also really loved the way Johnny realized that a certain element of Cobra Kai he'd sort of let out of the Pandora's box, and he couldn't get back in. With the way the kids, particularly the way that Hawk kid became more and more aggressive.
Yeah.
Right.
And you could
see
no
mercy, and
you could see Johnny
and
realizing
and he had kind of like unleashed Miguel, and that even when he was trying to hold him back and actually coach him and guide him,
it's
like F you, I know what to do now.
Yeah. And then I don't want to talk about the spoiler because I don't want to make a big spoiler, but there is a final reveal at the end, and this kind of reveal, in my view, can be a complete hokey, hooked.
That's how I felt. I felt like it was super hokey.
Oh, for me, I felt like it was 100% amazing. And when they referenced
God, I don't know what you're talking about.
the final scene.
The final reveal. The final scene.
Reveal of the season.
Amnesia.
When Johnny's alone in the dojo and a certain person comes in.
Oh, shit. Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Oh, my God. Of course.
So for me, I felt like when they sort of misdirect you on that earlier in the season by leading you to believe that this won't.
Well, you were the one, or we, I don't know if it was us that said, but it's just, I said on the last episode, like, what is, for the big reveal, it's it's just not, it must be happening. Like I kind of predicted it, and then we were like, no, well, like we made all these theories as to why this reveal would not happen, and I was sitting next to Jose, who was like, of course it has to happen. Like,
well, it has to happen because ultimately they have to find something. Now this is going to segue into Billions for a second. Okay, so we'll finish Cobra Kai, go to Billions. For these shows to work ultimately, where you love the villains and good guys as much as you're set up to love them, you need reasons for them to team up. And the reveal at the end of Cobra Kai allows a scenario whereby you could see Daniel and Johnny at some point teaming up together, which even if that's not the ultimate resolution of the show, right? Like Billions, I feel like Billions is not going to end with Chuck Rhodes and Bobby Axelrod being friends.
Ever, right.
But in Billions, where I am in the new season, they've introduced a character played by John Malkovich, a Russian mobster character, that clearly is a big evil bad guy that will enable Chuck and Bobby to be on the same team for once. And I think that's where that setup is. And I think that's what you have to do at a certain point when you've set up these characters that everybody loves and it's hard to pick a side.
We are getting close to time, so we should start thinking about wrapping up, gang.
Okay, so
Sure, we'll leave Billions for another time.
well, that was it. That was my Billions riff. All right. So
but like you and I can go down the rabbit hole there.
What else are you guys watching?
Okay, dudes, you gotta I don't like to overhype things because then you guys yell at me for overhyping. I have a tendency to do that, but I am really liking Killing Eve. Okay. This new show. I had read about it. I don't know if you guys know anything about it.
No,
at all.
Nothing.
So I read about, I read an article about it because I was like, okay.
Well, you liked it enough to buy a whole season without having seen it.
15 minutes of the first episode.
Oh, okay.
I watched the first episode and I was like, I have no way to. I bought it because it was late. I had no way to watch this show. It's on AMC. I don't want to go get my computer, do my VPN. Blah, blah, blah. I was like, I'm just gonna pay $2 to watch this episode, see if I like it. And I did, and then I was like, done. It was $12 to buy the season. I was like, no brainer. I'm buying this. Then you guys can watch it. Our mother fell asleep through 3/4 of it. She can then watch it again. It's a gift that keeps on giving. Your iTunes account, Shy. So I had read about it previously, which made me think to try it. And it's like female driven, which I know sounds like a bit trite at this point, but female driven. But it really is. And that's very refreshing and cool because the actresses are amazing. So they bring it. And it's about a woman that works for MI5, like the British CIA or whatever. Oh, no, CIA, yeah. And a female assassin. And what's cool is that she's not like an actual spy. MI5
are they Orthodox Jews?
No. What made you say that?
Because of that other movie that we were talking about with the Orthodox Jews.
No. I feel like being a female assassin doesn't work with like Judaism and Orthodoxy. But so what's cool is that Sandra Oh is the MI5 person.
Cool. I love Sandra Oh. I've been waiting for her.
You have been waiting for her. Exactly.
Hey, why didn't you just say Sandra Oh's in a new show? I was like, done. I'll watch her right now.
We have been waiting for her. This afternoon. Exactly. We have been waiting for her. She has been off Grey's Anatomy for about 4 or 5 years. I'm not sure what she's been doing. Kind of got worried that she retired from acting because she's a great actress. And she got I read that they had sent her the script and she assumed that she would have been one of the side characters, or she's like, I'm an Asian female actress in Hollywood. Like, I'm not getting the main character part. And it was like, okay, this sounds really interesting, whatever. And they were like, no, it's to play the main character. And she was like sign me up. This sounds incredible. And it's awesome that they gave her the role because she's phenomenal. The assassin is played by a frighteningly good actress. And it's basically, a bit like a cat and mouse, but beyond that. And it's fun to watch a show where the protagonist works for MI5 but isn't an actual field agent.
Cool.
It's pretty it changes it up a little bit.
It sounds amazing, and
give it a try. It's
suspenseful
and has dark humor in it, which is cool.
I like it. That sounds great.
Yeah.
Beck, what about you?
Creepy.
What did I watch this week? I mean, I watched Game Night, and Incredibles 2. That was my week. I don't feel like I can't remember. If I watched other stuff, it didn't register, so I guess it wasn't that good.
All right. Cool. So shout outs. I want to say that more than any other episode we have done, I have gotten the most response from last week's episode with Lindsay and Jen from sundogsfire.com. I just email.
Guys, we had so much fun recording that episode that I got off early because I had to run, but then called back into the show 15 minutes later, hoping you guys are still recording because I had such bad FOMO. And then I accidentally called every single one of you, and I don't really know them. And they answered the phone, and it was so awkward. I was like, "Hey guys."
That was weird.
And that's the outtake at the end of last week's episode.
It was so bad.
So you can hear that all over again. But Garlic Rob, Mike LoMedico, Duncan Scott, all of these very awesome people, members of the Rush family, have all written in, and I want to say thank you to all of them for listening, and then thank you again for our guests from last week for making it a super memorable episode.
Yes.
Agreed. And then I want to give a shout out also to, so I don't get very fashiony, and stylish. But there's one thing that's really important to me, and that is the cutting of my hair. And one amazing woman, Jamie B, has been cutting my hair for probably 10 years, maybe a little bit more, maybe a little bit less. And she has just opened up a salon. Is that the word? Is that what you call it? It's called the Shop at Shaw for people listening in the Washington, D.C. area. Salon, It's called the Shop at Shaw. It's on 8th Street in the Shaw area. It is super cool. They actually play great music the whole time. And if you want an awesome haircut, you should go there, and good conversation. And you can also follow Jamie and her amazing hairstyles and Instagram live stuff that she does. And her handle is dyed hair, D.Y.E.D, etc. hair on Instagram, and the Shop at Shaw on Instagram. And so I'm excited for her and for all the people setting that place up. She continues to be the best. So those are my shout outs for this week.
Cool. I want to give a shout out to Isabel Condi Mackey. She is my very dear friend who worked on Incredibles 2 that I mentioned earlier. I want to give a special shout out to her because she worked her butt off for a couple years now. I mean, really, I've never seen someone in such a grind for so long, and it was very, very worth it. So good work, Isabel. That's all. That's my little shout out for this week.
And Vanessa, cousin Vanessa.
Yeah.
The best. Who's just
Vanessa.
The best. And I gotta get in touch with her because she started watching The Letdown, so I'm curious to it. I gotta hear her opinion.
Super cool. All right, Lily, where can people find you?
Chichi K Gomez on the Twitter.com.
On the Twitter.com, that's right.
Don't even try.
That's the actual address. Follow me at PaperBKPrincess. And
on Twitter.
Yeah, on Twitter. At PaperBKPrincess on Twitter. And then for my alter ego, if you want some recipes, go to everydayoat.com. I'm working on a new recipe this week. I'm hoping it'll be out by the time this episode is out, but no guarantee because I've been a little lazy. But you'll see. Surprise. It's eggplant. It has eggplants in it. If you like eggplant,
you lost me.
Spoiler alert.
I do not like the sliminess factor of that. I do not like the sliminess factor of that vegetable.
Oh, this is a slimy recipe.
I do not like slimy recipes. I have developed a like for baba ganoush recently, but not so much.
Yeah. It's on the lines of that, but less boogery.
But mom's famous
I don't eat any of
eggplant parmesan, to me, is just one of
It's
the
amazing.
grossest substances in the world.
No, it's so good.
It's like eating a slug covered in cheese. Ugh. And all of Mom's food is amazing, except a couple of things.
This is not a reflection of Mom. This is a reflection of the eggplant.
No, but we can all admit, Mom's chicken burgers growing up were like really weird.
Yeah, I still have a few of them in my freezer.
It's true. I gotta say though, she made me a mean picadillo today, so I'm not gonna.
Have you had her vegetarian? Have you had the vegetarian picadillo?
No.
So I had.
I mean,
I don't have any. Sorry, I don't have any kosher
it,
friends
but there's
coming
nothing-
over.
I've had it, and it's great. I love it, but like, then you have the real version. You're like, oh, it's like that scene in Parks and Rec where like, what's his name?
Oh yeah, where they have the hamburger competition.
The hamburger and makes this like super fancy
turkey burger.
Artisanal turkey burger, and then, Ron just like grills up some beef, and he's like, it's beef, and they're like, yeah, it's definitely better. That's the difference.
Anyways, I beg to differ. Mom's still though super resentful about the vegetarian video. She's like,
No, she said she was excited. She said she was excited to try it.
Says, how could you eat a vegetarian, Shy? That's what she always says to me.
Okay, I'm getting really hungry. I have to go.
You can follow me at Pancake for a Table on Twitter and Instagram. You can follow all the Pancake Shenanigans and maybe Lily's blog entry, if she writes it, at pancakeforatable.com. The theme music, which should be kicking in, is by What Does It Eat? And we are in the final few weeks of our Indiegogo. I just mailed out a whole bunch of posters for people who ordered prints, and so it was really exciting to be able to share those.
Okay, I have a really funny story, but I'll save it for next time.
Okay.
Okay.
And if you would like to hear my voice in another context talking about music, also have another podcast going called Behind the Music with Ashley, also known as the Improvinator on Instagram and the curator of many things related to the Goldbergs. And you can follow us there. We're going to review every episode of Behind the Music that we can find. We just had a Def Leppard episode that was really fun. And with that, is there anything else I say at the end of these? No, I think that's it. I think we're just dancing and dancing and dancing. And I love you guys. And we'll talk to you next week.
Love you. Miss you. Can't wait to do this in person.
All right. Bye-bye.
Yep.
Bye. Bye. Love you guys.
Bye.
Yeah. If you want, I can just sign your names to the card if you trust me to.
Or not, or you could just send her flowers and not include us. Since we know that's your real move.
I didn't exclude you from that.
I mean, not writing
Becky, we're sending her our flowers.
Excluding someone. That is the definition.
I'm not even giving
Let's be clear. It's not like I teamed... Wait, hold on a second. Hold on. It's not like I teamed up with one of you against the other.